Day 2 was a driving day, and day 3 was exploring the area around Cleveland. So let's see how that went. The first night in the van was very pleasant, if a little bit chilly. The heater kicked on after a while. And so day 2 was just a driving day, about 350 miles out to Cleveland. The day started with a beautiful sunrise. I took a short walk around the farm before having breakfast, and then it was time to go on my travels again. When traveling, I would typically stop every hour or hour and a half to stretch my legs. Lunch would be at a rest area, but usually I just have a sandwich and some fruit and maybe a cup of tea in the van. There are plenty of hills, high mountains in New York and Ohio, but as you can see, the route I was taking going from Rochester, Buffalo, along the side of Lake Erie was pretty flat. Here we are going around the outside of Cleveland. The place I was staying at was a church parking lot, and it was just past Cleveland. Before getting there, I had to stop into Best Buy. I'd left some cables at home, so I needed to pick up some cabling to connect my computer and tablet to the TV in the van. And here's what the setup looked like when I was working on the laptop, either doing email for work or personal, or just stashing the videos and films that I'd taken for the day, or just watching a movie or something. Then it was off to Walmart to get a few food supplies, and a little bit of a luxury. I decided I was going to get a toaster, so I just bought a cheap one. Turned out to be a bit small. I had to flip the bread in the middle of toasting it, but still tasted great when it was toasted. Then I made it to the church parking lot for the overnight stay. I went out for an evening walk. There was some nice quiet roads with a nice bit of woodland, which I didn't walk into because that would have been too much walking for me on my knee. But still, it was a nice way to end the evening. And that became the end of day 2 once I turned in for the night. After 2 long days of driving, the third day was a rest day, sort of. I decided to go for a walk around the Rocky River Reservation, which is very nice. I had lunch there. I then drove to the overnight location at a vineyard, had a look around there, tasted some wine, and took an afternoon bike ride to Lake Erie, and then settled in for the evening. So after a lazy start to the morning, I decided to go to Rocky River Reservation, which seemed like a nice place to do some hiking. As I was driving there, the road said there was a 5-ton limit, and I knew that my van was somewhere around 5 tons. I think it was just under 5 tons, but I did it anyway. Went on the road, found a nice place to park, and did a nice hike, which we'll take a look at now. After lunch, it was a short drive to the location I was staying at for the night at Paper Moon Vineyards. I managed to find a nice place to park, a nice quiet area. There was a bit of highway noise off in the distance, but it was pretty low. Then I went inside and took a look at the drinks that they had to offer. I ended up buying some hard cider and took a look around where they were bottling the wine. After that, I went for a bike ride up to the coast of Lake Erie in the tourist-looking town of Vermilion. Pittsburgh in the early 1960s, my parents used to take us up to Lake Erie from time to time in the summer where we would go swimming in the lake. That was before it was polluted. It was a nice, pleasant, late afternoon bike ride. And then in the evening, there was another RVer who was parked there. They had a van that they had partly self-converted themselves, and we had a good chat. It was a lovely evening, and then I turned in for the night.